Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be playing the new Panzer Corps 2 DLC Fall of Poland, and the idea behind this video is to flip the tables on Germany and actually see if we can beat Germany as Poland. We'll go new game, campaign, Fall of Poland, and Generalismus, which means I have negative 80 prestige, 20% base accuracy to the enemy. Quite the debuffs there. All right, we'll be using kind of my strat here that I've developed over the years. We're going to go no overstrength, retrograde, which I don't even know plays into this because the war was so short. And this slows down the equipment that you receive 6 months later than normal. I think the war was like a month and a half or 2 months. I don't know. Green Army elite replacements are limited to 3 times per mission. So we don't use that anyway. And we don't use overstrength anyway with my strategy. I know that could be fairly controversial with Panzer Corps 2 players, but it does work. Cannot use replacements in the middle of battle. Delayed reinforcement. Yeah, forget that. Inefficient supply is one that I like to use. Slow modernization. Fear of the unknown. Forced dispersion. Can assign a maximum of 1 hero per unit. That might be worth it to get. Ruthless. Never accepts surrender. Not sure what that does. Okay, we're definitely going to go Infantry General, Liberator, Operational Initiative, Trophies of War, Deadly Grasp, Flexible Command, Killer Team, Perimeter Control. I want Meticulous Planning, which means I need to do let's do Trench Slog. All ground units get 2 movement actions instead of 1. It's pretty crazy. So I do like the Terrain Expert. Aggressive Deployment would be good. I would go without the combat predictions, but I think that that's just so good. Let's go with Terrain Expert and we'll just leave it there. That should be good enough. We're going to end the briefing. We have lightning attack, immune to all types of support fire. That's pretty good. Another one. Double support, provides support fire twice for each enemy attack. And I believe all those heroes were already assigned. And hero, yeah, they're already assigned. I'm just going to keep them where they were pre-placed. And our first objective was up here. We need to get these cavalry out of there. And I think the first thing that I did was just back out and encircle these 2 guys up north because they could take this objective. I don't really care. I think last time I purchased units, it didn't look like we could purchase them ahead of time. We got 2 of these 7TP mod 1939. We got 2 of those. And then we had a big boy gun. So we'll take that. That puts us up max core slots there. And I sent the tanks north around. Let's just place them. I don't think it's going to matter that much. And then we can move from the back to the front. Hey, the lieutenant, they're near Krojanti, telling us that this is the main German attack and they need aid. Okay. You guys can pause the video if you want to check that out. I don't know. I'm going to just split this guy because there's no penalties to splitting and I could just have them meet up again, I guess. Didn't look like I could encircle the way that I wanted to. Okay, so this guy can swing up to both sides. So we're definitely going to do that. And we've got 2 arty that are revealed here. This guy can't get really in range. I'm going to leave 2 artillery back. Get this guy up, ready to defend. Move him up. And then I can't even really get this guy around either. Sheesh. But he dipped out of that battle, so now we can continue the encirclements here. Okay, so that guy's encircled. I was very surprised that that guy backed out. And they've got another guy over here. I could actually hit up the arty. I wouldn't mind doing that. Kind of huge. This guy's still encircled. If I attack him, he's going to get out of the encirclement straight away, but I think he can get out anyway. So this encirclement strategy is going to rely on dealing suppression to the enemy and ruining the enemy supplies through encirclement. So I'm going to let him sit there because I think if I attack him again, he'll pop out. Alternatively, could I just destroy him? I think I can just destroy him. Wow, he's not moving out of that pocket. There we go. Okay, so that was great. And these guys can move twice, so I better double check that everyone's moved. I wonder if he'll get engaged if I put him there. Let's just put him back here on the road. And then the question is what to do with these guys, because they're hopelessly outnumbered. It would be nice if we were able to actually save them. But I don't really think that that's in the cards. Displacing this guy over here, he's got 1 level of entrenchment. I think he's going to get that anyway. So, I could have him set up. If I move him up, can he untruck? Yes, he does. Okay, so that's good to know. This guy's going to get easily enveloped, unfortunately. Maybe protect the flank. This guy can literally, because we've negated the enemy zones of control. This guy can literally move all the way up there. So, I mean, maybe we can save one of them. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and then they can buff each other because we have 2 moves. That's the other thing I forgot to look at. Can all these guys buff each other? This guy can move forward 1. That's perfect. For some reason, I didn't see that before. So now it's going to be all about encircling these guys up here. And they do have an artillery deep. Like, that's just a 1-1 attack. This is a 1-2. Like, maybe I could get a big boy up here. Yeah. And then everyone else is going to surround them. You can actually switch as well. I think that might give them a little better offensive capabilities. So the important thing here is do not give them any ground to retreat to, because they will retreat out of this pocket and they are going to suffer a lot of penalties if you keep them in that pocket. So we're just going to de-force these guys so that they'll attack better. They could still attack, and then just see what we could do here. Like, this guy's probably going to bounce around in here, or is he just going to die? I'm a little surprised that guy didn't die there. So he actually has a support attack. I think we literally just let these guys marinate in the pocket. I could probably suffer like 1 damage. See if we can get them in the swamp. If they go to the swamp, they are donezo. Too bad I couldn't just defeat the artillery straight off. Oh, they can't move up anymore, huh? Well, that's too bad. These attacks don't look the best, and they're kind of encircled, so I'm going to let this guy marinate in the pocket, and I don't know why this guy is not in the pocket as well. That's super annoying. Maybe it's because he's close to this road off map, so they're saying that he's going to have supply from that area. This guy dies the first turn as well, and that doesn't even help him. So he's got a 4 entrenchment in there. I don't really know what else to do. I'm going to back him out and try to save him. Oh, he has the double move. Okay. Can I get him in the forest line? If I get him up here, he's going to be able to defend much better. So I'm going to try to save all of these guys. I don't know how this guy sneaks out of here. Maybe he could. They have vision around here is the problem. It looks like he's only going to be able to move 1 in the swamp at a time. Like, maybe I could get him out here and then give him the extra movement and just pop that guy out. They're going to be swarming us to the east fairly quickly. So let's see what happens. They take the VP. Okay, he's got support fire with the AT. Those guys are in a pocket. Yikes. All right, as promised, this guy's gonna die. But we got the arty out. That's better than I did in my first playthrough. You guys can find that playthrough on YouTube. They reinforced this guy. This is so unfair. Oh, that guy actually died anyway. So I have 5 core slots available. I'm going to try to like sneak this guy down here. I'm pretty sure he's off the map to the enemies. So I'm pretty sure that they don't know where he's at. So we have a lot of concerns here. We're going to move from the east to the west and try to encircle everything. So they're engaged over here heavily. We'll do something risky and put these guys in the forest. I don't think that we can cut off this army group though. Give myself zone of control there. Move here. We're attacking here heavily. That guy into a stronger position. The last time I got a hero that you could attack twice, that was pretty OP. They have no air in this area. They do have 1 like bomber out west, but definitely helps to play this ahead of time. So that guy is going to retreat out. Or surrender? Nice, and he could still move. Holy, that's so good. I don't think the tank's going to be a big problem, but I'll attack him anyway. Oh, this guy can attack twice. ESG, you fool. It's better if the tank's in open territory, not in the forest. So he could actually move twice, and then all we need is 1 dude to flank. Come on, baby. Who's going to be able to get around here? Just that? This guy might be able to move twice, so I'm going to put him there. He can't get out of the pocket, so the AT should just kill him, I would expect. Yes, sir. This guy's looking pretty worse for the wear, but he could still be useful. It's just he has a hero on him. If this guy dies, his counterpart still lives, but I'm not sure if the hero is put back into my stockpile or what happens. So I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm just going to buff up that cavalry unit, and then we're going to keep on attempting to tighten the noose here. Pretty sure that's death? Nope. So that was pretty bad. That wasn't the best. That was a pretty cheeky surrender there. I really like that one. I can move up the support. I think the main trick here is to not allow the artillery to just back out, so that they surrender like so. And then these guys can combine and attack, and then we can pull these guys over. You see they're yellow, now they're orange suppressed, and now they're dead. So that was pretty good. They're not moving quite so well because they're not in cavalry formation. So I'm just gonna encircle this guy over here. Bye-bye. I think it would be better to pressure the artillery, get these guys remounted. This cavalry is so useful. Like, look at all the stuff you could do with them. And the double move is insane. Probably not the best idea, but he's already suppressed. I'm going to do it anyway. And he can move up again. I don't know if their forces... Let's try to let him draw the infantry in. I don't know if their forces will be able to do anything to that artillery, because he's already suppressed a little bit. And this guy can punch through. So let's buff them. Try to preserve the tanks. Let's try to move this guy into a defensive position and hope they don't just pop out of here like a jack in the box. And I lost my guy over here. I lost the guys down south. So not a lot going on there. Oh, most important thing. If you come down here and take this, the scenario ends. And I need to purchase. And what I want is PL Pioneers, and I only have 5. So I'll purchase 1, place them where they can actually attack the forts, and then I think we'll just chill at that. Okay, so they did as I thought. They did a little bit of damage, but now they're going to be in an easily encirclement position. And then this guy popped out, which actually isn't the worst thing in the world, because I can move him back and around. Oh, I can move both of them. Okay. So we have a lot of options here. He could start moving around. We could get really aggressive here and just move him up. He can move down. And then the AT can attack. I don't think it's going to do anything. But sometimes you could force a surrender like that. The tank has an overrun on it. So unless I know we're going to take them out, I don't use it. Like, this guy could use a chip shot, and then I could overrun him. Wow, he could even move further. That's crazy. Let's work on encircling them and let them marinate inside the encirclement. Get these guys back on the horse. These guys can take the high ground, and they got a guy behind him too. Yeah, I moved this guy up. I'm pretty sure that he dies, unfortunately. This guy's going to marinate in an encirclement, and then these guys are going to flank out. So now they're both in encirclement positions. I mean, I'll just make it a little harder for them to get out of here, I guess. And then one of these guys is going to die, but the other half of their division will actually survive. So it'll be okay. You can just come up here and just take him out. Like, that's not a bad move. Work on this guy. Nice little surrender there. And there's going to be guys coming out of the fog of war over here soon. Looking to get these guys healthy, overstrength him, make sure that that's a pretty strong position right there. The hunter becomes the hunted. He really can't attack there? Super surprised. I just want to make this an easy attack where I don't lose anything. So when they're red suppressed, they can't fire back. Which is exactly what I wanted. And then we could get this guy back in a position to go where he was. Kind of spread out here. This guy could back off. The forts are going to attack him. Let's have him do that. Make a strong position right there. And I didn't really like how this guy got attacked last turn. Him in there. The engineers attack pretty well. Go like that. He could attack into there. That's why I chose the engineers. And then this guy can just mop up. Make sure that they can't attack us. Like, they might be able to get a guy on this tile, but these two guys block their own divisions. It'd be hard for them to get up into this forested area as well. I'm going to dismount some of these guys, and perhaps they'll be more survivable. Okay, so as you can see, we're just getting swarmed there. So these guys are going to try to disappear into the swamp here, and we can preserve them. They're a mountain infantry. It should be a really good division. So he has alpine movement, and if they can just kind of disappear for a few, or even bait the tanks into here, like, I'd be fine with that. Take a few VPs. Let him come back here while I'm handling everything over here. See how it goes. So I have 2 core slots. I'm not really going to get anything with that. We'll see if someone dies. So they just pushed through. That's probably the worst thing the AI could have done there. Did they get? Oh, okay. They're just attacking into here. These guys are free. So the engineers should be able to take out the next fort quite easily. I moved this guy in not the strongest position. Might be able to start blasting our way through here. He's not fully suppressed. I would rather focus here if we can. get a little suppression, and then bring in the engineers. And this is VP, so I will get prestige. The enemy will lose prestige, so that's quite good. And as you can see, we got that one pretty easily. Try to bypass this fort over here through the forest. And because I have the zone of control buff, you can see that they can move quite far because of the general buff that I gave them. We'll just move these guys into areas that they're going to be able to attack the next line. So he can move all the way up. And I'm not seeing targets over here. I'm a little worried about that. Tanks are going to be down south, and that's an anti-tank, so I'll make sure he goes down south. I don't know if this guy can move and then refit. They can, so I'll just do that. That seems like the best thing for them to do. And then the recon can actually move back. They did not die off of that. They did. So he can move around here, dismount, and we can keep this guy encircled. These guys can split as well and move around. And now we've got a little box here for them to get encircled and to surrender out of. Okay, that is nasty. Not sure how well these guys are going to do in a fight. I'm going to conserve my prestige and my HP and let those guys marinate. Because we're going to take heavy losses if we attack into that. So because of the double move, they can get up to the crossroads there, and then we could get a strong position here. So those are under strength infantry. And as you can see, if you attack into a city with a tank, it's not very good. I'm going to move these guys up cautiously. He needs to come up and support the AT in case the tank comes out of the fog of war. Okay, so if I move him here, there's someone here, they'll be able to see me. I'm just going to do it. So he could double move, see that the VP's open, and then back out, and hopefully they don't see us. Let's see what happens over here. So they're going to get the VP and hopefully just move off. If I take this VP, they're going to come down for this guy. I think we get some distance in between them and go boom, boom. Okay, so they did bring up their infantry in support. That infantry is going to be my main target. It was just a surrender. And then the next thing to do would be to encircle these two. I know that they have strong forces behind them. Let me check out like what's going on up here. So he's still encircled. So when I attack into him, as you can see, we're taking way less HP damage, but still a decent amount. I don't know if that's just going to surrender him. This guy's encircled. Lieutenant Urbanowitz. That's the hero on here. Let's see what he gives us. Survivor, thorough preparation, fierce fighter, and evasive. What? He's like a god. That's crazy. All right, we'll combine them and see if we can get the dub here. Like every time we surrender them, we get their equipment. We should have gotten some prestige. You could tell me down below if I just got prestige right there. These guys are going to have to move across. The truck is going to have to move up and hope that they don't break this line here. And then he's going to move up into kind of a compromised position, so that we keep the encirclement going. This is a compromised position. They have forces that could encircle. I could be re-encircled. My encirclement could get encircled. Like attacking in here is bad. This isn't really exciting. Those attacks are not exciting at all. But attacking here would be nice. You could actually double move around the swamp. So next turn I could encircle him, or I could move an artillery piece up. Oh, this is broken. But now I can't get anyone in the swamp. But if he goes in the swamp, though, he's going to be an easy target. So maybe he'll turn orange there? Yeah. And then I could get him into the swamp. Let's just let him marinate again. So patience is the order of the day. Checking to see if I can overstrength any of these dudes. Boy, that was great. And they do pop out, okay? But he's red entrenched. He's probably going to die. That's not the worst thing in the world. It wasn't my engineer. Wow. That actually dealt damage. That was actually okay. He was able to retreat out. It really sucked that he was able to retreat. So if we could take out Krasjanti like super quickly here and then turn on this force to the east, that would be nice. This guy still has a 6 entrenchment. So my tanks aren't going to do so well here, but there are other targets available. They just have guys swarming all over the place here, huh? He could come out and protect the flank. Oh, he can attack twice. I'm dumb. If I'm doing this, I'm pretty sure this guy could just back out. So was there a guy who could get back here? So now we have the double encirclement going on here. Pretty sure he can't get out of that. Just die already. Oh my god. This guy's super compromised. That really sucked. I might have pushed forward up a little too fast. So we're doing well up north though. And pretty sure, spoiler alert, that you lose Lieutenant Urbanowitz. So now they're going to force march back to here. You see they already have someone over here. Put them back on their horses and let them ride. Like, look at the movement. On the march, they can replace. Our covert assault group here is going to move up and perhaps double move to an area that the enemy should not be able to see me and hopefully get a VP back there. And a lot of the times, if you take prestige away from the enemy, they won't be able to replace. If you deal enough circlements and steal enough VPs from them, they're not gonna be able to replace at some point. It's hard to get to that point. It's usually at the last 2 turns or 3 turns, but it might be achievable here. Let's see what happens here. That was really good. That was kind of mid. See, we didn't lose any core slots from that loss there. I think they're still attacking through over here. I'm not entirely sure. We'll get you next turn. These guys are encircled. Can we get an overrun, please? I hate you. I'm actually gonna... That enraged me so much. I'm actually gonna do undo on that tank attack. Lieutenant Urbanowitz, General Sir, our charge of Krasjanti has scattered a cluster of German infantry and the road to Chojnice is open. We only found a few survivors from Chojnice. That is down here. He is completely overrun with enemy troops. Panzers swiftly approach from the west. We can withdraw towards Kutno until we get overwhelmed. But the point of this playthrough is to overwhelm them. This guy can obviously get a dub right there. And then their panzers got to be here or they move back. Are you kidding me? I want to keep this guy with artillery support and then just keep these guys healthy. And we're just going to take a turn to let these guys recuperate here. So our next target is right here. These tanks, I need to not split up and move them up strong. Okay, so he goes in there. We get 30 fighters. Note that there's no airfields that I found. So like you get the fighters, but don't buy fighters. And then some twin engine aircraft. Whatever those models are. The tanks are going to kind of crash down a bit. Don't put them in the forest. That's really bad. I think this guy can just surrender this guy. How is this not an overrun? What is going on here, guys? That was an overrun. Okay. So they can kind of flank, but not much else. And these guys can actually get all the way around. And all of a sudden, the zone of control is going to be in our favor. So we could do things like cut all the way around. So nasty, dude. So he's stuck there. No one can really get in this tile where I need them. We're just going to kind of squeeze him a little bit. So we could take this guy out fairly easily. I want to see what's to my flank. Oh, boy. Okay. I'm just going to do these attacks. I wonder if the... artillery is not really going to be able to help that much, but I'm going to move them into a position where they could support fire. At least that one can. He can actually get into good position. Split. Germans are strong. I can move this guy over here. Okay, he can move up. I'll have this guy attack. Beautiful. Beautiful. So strong forces are going to come out of the north. We have a bit of a squeeze point where we could use the terrain to our advantage. I've got guys to my east. I would rather attack in a singular direction. So I'm going to try to hook everyone back out this way if I can. Like that VP's looking juicy, but like right here. Protect my AT gun. This guy's probably going to die to the infantry. Move him up forward. I'm pretty sure their tanks move back because where are they? I could move that guy up. It's kind of a weak position. This guy's boxed in here. As promised, he died. But his counterpart lives on up north. He died, his counterpart lives on up north, and there's where the tanks are. Okay. He might die from later. Wow, that was not the engineer, so I'm not entirely impressed about that. Set him back up. There. Actually, I can move him out of the swamp, giving them the swamp. Move the NG up and then just have them hold out. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to flank. This artillery right here is in a good position. And then the tank can attack through there. I'd like to draw whatever they have here out into the open. And then we're just going to come around the back door here, see what we could do. We're going to move from the back first. He has a counterpart. If he is lost, he has no hero on him. That should be okay. I want him to move forward, so we're going to encourage that. Take up a strong position over there. Get urban wits up. He can move up again, but who's going to cover him? I'm not sure if that encircles this guy as well. Let's just keep them in the encirclement for now. I don't even want to take 1 HP damage on that tank. Okay, I'm liking how we're set up here. We're looking strong. Let's dismount this guy. If he retreats out, that might give more room for the tank to maneuver. Did I forget about this guy? See if we could get eyes over here. Get a little prestige over there. Disrupt the enemy's logistics. This guy like runs in the AT and is like, nope. No, thank you. See, as you can tell, the German infantry is quite strong. So I'm thinking this guy just moves up to the next one, just like move in there, and then he can come in here, take that back up there when all the Germans are gone. So that's a nasty encirclement. Those guys are fully suppressed. Get these guys fully suppressed. He already moved. So the tank can move up. This guy might be able to leapfrog. We have another tank back here to be aware of. Urbanwitz can split. This tank can not get back there because of this guy. But I could like snake a recon in. Let's do this. I know it's not the best attack, but maybe I open up here. Okay, now he can go all the way through. So let's get Urbanwitz. Bonowitz. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that poorly. I don't speak Polish at all. It's too bad this infantry can't get up. I want that fort to stay in place though. Yes. Now can he leapfrog? Yes. So this guy can't move anymore. I'm going to have him attack because his movement's hampered. And this is how you blitzkrieg, boys. That's how you do it. That's how they wrote it up in the textbooks. Can't move anymore. Like, this guy shouldn't be able to attack back. And some of these attacks look really bad. He can move back here, though. Dude, the anti-tank is so out of position. Both of these guys are going to get replacements. You do want to take your time and kind of see where to maneuver these guys, like I'm doing. Very worthwhile. He cannot. He cannot get out, clearly. So this rear guard is going to have to like double move carefully into Grosjeanti. And let's try to tighten the noose here. We got a split, potential split. Looking beautiful. Oh, anti-tank. But he can't attack after he dismounts, unfortunately. That might be death. And it is. Okay, captured enemy equipment. SDKFZ 16. So we can now have that unit. Can he dismount? No. So we have like kind of a weak defense. We might come into contact down here against my better judgment. And then this guy can move up through the forest. He's in a really bad position. I'll move the AT back. So he can move up with artillery backing. And these SDKFZs are just so good early game. Super annoying. And then they fall off after like the first scenario, like Battle of Poland, then they're no good. So they decided to get themselves in a much worse position. I love it. Panzers are most likely racing across the map up there. I don't know if we're safe to go back up there, but I'm going to do it anyway. But they're going to be suppressed anyway. And this recon inside this city is not going to do very well. The tanks are not going to go west because that's forested. Tanks don't do well there. I think there's actually more forces in here. I'd be curious just to take them out real quick. That wouldn't be bad. And then we'll move from back here up. It looks like that's the rest of their movement. So I'm just going to move him up here and then maybe snake a couple units across. This is crazy. Super dirty tactics. You guys should try this against your friends. Get attacked there. At least he attacked something, I guess. That's a 1-1. Come on. The other beauty about this strategy is you could literally get bonuses from the encirclement because all of your divisions are standing next to each other. So that counts for a lot as well. And we'll leave these two forts up. I don't think that that matters whatsoever. Oh, there's nothing down here. And those forts aren't doing anything, so I'll just leave them. Now I'm feeling a lot better about the defenses that we've set up here. And like this guy can take that and then leave and not take cut. No, everything's Polish over here except for this guy. Let's have a few screening forces. All right. I think that we're in good shape to take on the German Panzer. So as you can see here, you've got the Panzer Lehrabteilung. That's the command tanks with the radio. The wires above them, like a radio tower. So what else they have? The 35T, the Czech tank, Panzer 1B, which at this point is not bad, and a Panzer 2D, which is probably their best tank. So they're looking to encircle, but I think we have enough firepower here to suppress them, do everything we need to do. Like head to head, we're not going to do so well. But this guy's on his own. I don't think that there's anyone wrapping above him because that's forested. So that is going to be really good for us. We put him in a pocket and then hope he can't get out. And then we form a line contiguous with this tank to Grosjeanti. And then maybe a little over here, force them into the forest if they so choose to go to the forest. I don't know why you would, but if they do, they're free to do that. I guess if he wants to move back one, he can. I'm not going to attack into him this turn. He's fairly strong. We start suppressing these guys, they won't give us as big of a headache. Oh. All right. I'm going to err on the side of like going up north before I take Charzikowie? Charzikowie? Please don't hate me, Poles. I apologize. Oh. So, Lieutenant Urbanowitz, like, dies no matter what, I'm pretty sure? We lost a whole unit there. My whole idea about fighting through the forest did not work out. But they are getting put into a pocket. So, if you're not elite replacing, if you don't care about XP, like, you could just literally buy more tanks or whatever you need, because your cap goes down, but you buy into better stuff. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. So we'll get this guy in a forward position. We'll tighten the noose up here, what we could do. So he can't fire back. Wow, that looks really bad. Okay. That was really good. It appears that they will be able to fight us in the forest just fine. No problems. We're going to get out of the forest. We're going to switch up our strat and then draw them out here into encirclement areas. Get him down to red. Dang it. So I could have all these guys sidestep. He can redeploy back here. After we destroy these tanks, they should be done. Don't die. Died. Okay, so moving this guy up there was bad. How many tanks do we have? 5? I usually only use 5 tanks. This guy can't fire back. He should move further into the pocket. Yes, sir. Did this guy's counterpart die? Looks like he did. So he's in a bit of a compromised position. I don't think the makers of Panzer Corps had this in mind. So now he moves up, and he's able to give AT defense here pretty readily. And then we just have to keep whipping around their flanks. We could get a double encirclement here that they most likely won't be able to attack out of. So he can even move up, man up. It's so dirty. Like how good they are. So now we just have the 2 panzers over here we have to worry about, and everyone should be stuck in their encirclement. And the AI typically doesn't split, which is good for us. So these 4 tanks here will suffer all the penalties. I would like to take this guy out if I could this turn. So if we could get him into the red, that would be lovely. Wow, we're still going to take damage. So I'm not going to attack into him. Start doing all the nasty things that we're going to be able to do here. Dismount, overstrength, all the things. I'm dismounted. So as you can see, we split the enemy, but we did not split ourselves. We're like a mailed fist here. A mailed fist quickly dying. So I think we lost another infantry. And he put himself in the pocket. Okay. We haven't lost any tanks yet, though. Come on, make him red. Yes, sir. Make him orange. Yes, sir. He's already suppressed, so doing anything there is not going to help. But this guy has white, So he's like super dangerous until we get him suppressed. I'm pretty sure this represents a complete encirclement here, but I'm gonna split these guys up. Can't fire back. Dead. Yes, yes. This is where you could use your artillery in a pretty nasty way if you know that you're just going to be able to take these guys out. It doesn't look like, well, that guy has a pretty good attack going there. But I could literally start wrapping. I want this AT for support fire. So actually he can move into here, give support fire to the adjacent units, and also hold up pretty good against their tanks. But the artillery can move in and take up all this extra space. And essentially it's a very dangerous tactic, but one that works well. Like, that's just nasty. A recon against that tank. That guy's super compromised in his horse and wagon, but as you can see, it doesn't matter. This guy doesn't have an attack anymore. Now the front line becomes the back line. This guy's out of ammo, so he can't fire back. So we'll strengthen them, move them up. You just kind of search around. Sometimes you could find a solution. If these guys could get over there, that'd be awesome. I'm just going to move them down so that they're ready to attack the next town. And then this guy is capping VPs. He's capping VPs on his own, just doing whatever he wants. No! Recon out of the fog of war. Wow, that tank attacked very poorly against this guy. I could buy more units here. It would be optimal. Like, these engineers are 3-core slots. I did lose an Ulan. That is 450. Force march, close combat switches to that. I'm just going to purchase, let's add that to the basket, and then we have 4 more. Like, we could get just cavalry for encirclements. I don't know what. Their ground defense is 6, air defense 4. Air defense is 9 on the mountain. These guys can take out tanks more effectively, but I'm pretty sure my tanks are good enough. Their air and ground defense is better, and they don't have a close defense, so not going to be too good in forested areas. I'm not sure if I like that, so let's just take the Ulan off and add 2 of these to our basket, place them down, and they'll be able to move up. So I'm not sure if that was the way to go. Probably cheaper infantry would have been better. We'll see. We're going to turn these guys red, and then just completely decimate them. I'm sure he has another attack. I guess not. We'll just replace him. So apparently, oh, he can attack back fully suppressed. That was a little surprising. Move the recon in. And then I could split the recon and then keep eating here. We'll just leapfrog them through here. I know that this isn't the best way of doing this, but that's going to have to do. Okay, for some reason, they can attack so much better. I would call that a really good attack. Okay, that actually worked out great. These guys can still move up because of the double move, and we could attack through with our Panzer. Still much. Oh, that's German, so they might have someone over here as well. I don't really want to go toe-to-toe with that guy. Goal here is to get Kojnice, but completely encircle it. I don't see anything up here. Okay, I do. That guy might be able to, like, wrap around. So I'm a little concerned about this guy right here being able to, like, get into here. We're going to move aggressively. I hate these big movements because you're never quite sure, like, how this is going to shake out. I'm assuming this guy is just going to attack. So I'll put the AT behind him, and I don't think he could snake around because that's forested, but I could be wrong. I think I forgot to move that tank up that last turn. Oh well. Is that 2? They have so much recon. I'm pretty sure that was 2 recons. Or did he just go back to look? So these guys are going to have to snake up and around. This guy will be able to go a little further, give a zone of control there. This strat over here worked fantastically, I must say so myself. And now we'll take a deep dive with this cavalry. Yowza. Okay, so the AI purchased a lot of units there. Let's reconsider our plan. I know that this recon will be pretty stout against them. I wonder if we could draw them into the open. The lucky part is that we're divided here. Oh, they've got a plane, BF-110C. So they're divided, which will be very good for us. Go on the offensive with the artillery here since we have double movement. Big boy tank. Not going to be enough. I guess I'll take 1-to-1. There is kind of a time frame here. This guy's looking ominous. Even this, like, staff car looking guy can do a lot of damage to us. Oh, and he threatens the artillery over here. So I'm a little worried about the plane. Pretty good position. Wait, they have nothing in Kojnice? Let's keep them in the open. Wow, they've got a lot of recon. If this guy goes in the swamp, he's gonna die for sure. I'm thinking we don't go into Kojnis. They could have something over here, AA or something. I think we just keep tightening the noose. Wow, that didn't really even help out that much. This guy can be in the swamp. Gonna be quite risky. All right, I feel good about that. Whew. Okay, but we still have a recon to contend with. They can get up on the same level, but not replace. We're gonna stack all of our forces and just attack here. Then we'll come up here. And these guys will have to be enough. They're infantry in the open. Shouldn't be that bad. So they have significant air force now. The question is, can I get an airfield? These guys could move up north and even help out the guys up there. This air power is going to be real rough to get around. I usually attack first with AT if they have a chance to actually attack, because a lot of the times it's so rare. That was crazy that guy was able to hang in there for that long. There's the 88. Oh my gosh. That's really bad. We have no AT or AA. Well, we have one AT, we have no AA, and they could just start picking us off from the air. Wow, that guy's super entrenched. I wonder if I could get around them. This is all swamps over here. He could get in there and do some work, because they ignore entrenchment, that's why. I'm not sure if this guy can move up and then actually get in the swamp. This guy can move out of the way. It looks like he could just move out of the way. He could displace over there. That guy can move up. Pretty low strength, though. So these guys didn't pop out of here. And I'm thinking at this point, like, maybe they're just going to spawn a bunch of more units down here. So I'll have these guys come back to help out, and then maybe these guys can hold up in Krojanti and just hold. I don't think the AI will attack there, but maybe. Or maybe these guys will come back to Charzikawi. Still have 2 core slots available to us. There's that 88. Didn't do much. That air did a lot, though. That looked pretty bad. That was pretty sick. So we got 15 Panzer 2Ds and 9 Panzer 2Gs. I don't know if these guys are going to play a role over here, so we're just going to move them up. We'll move up the recon and make sure that they don't try anything. Then we'll sneakily move these guys up. So we're kind of just going for the looping encirclements. I gotta stop over-strengthening or re-strengthening these divisions. I don't know. I'm just like click happy right now. We've almost won. So they're going at, like, there's an airfield over here. I don't see anything. He moves up, and then we just start whacking him. Okay, now we can kind of work on the 88. All right. I don't want to forget to move these guys, though. This guy's almost out of ammo. I'm just going to try to soak up his ammo. He's not going to protect against the tank because it's artillery. Roll the dice there. Okay, artillery is out of ammunition. Hey, PL cavalry. Are you kidding me? You have no weapon. You have, like, nothing to fight back with. What are you going to fight back with? A stone? Got the dub there. Oh, no. Okay. Infantry in the open. I like it. These guys are pretty strong, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to shove them in there, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to attack that. It's looking like taking this guy out here is probably not the best. How do they have a tank? I did not expect that tank. Got to get away from their air. I wonder if this is an overrun. It's not even an overrun. Oh, he has 8 entrenchment. That's why. That armored car has 8 entrenchment. And this guy has 10 out of 10 entrenchment. Okay, maybe the artillery would have been useful there. So you see that their entrenchment's going down. So that was a big mistake. I'll just keep it, though. Okay. Here's where we start splitting. And I most likely overcommitted these forces. Underestimating the German infantry is never a good idea. So this guy is effectively going to be sacked, but I'm just going to take him out, get him out of the way so I can move up and engage these units that are hunting down my units. We haven't lost anything. That was quite good. Got a little surrender there. Haha! The first encirclement. I don't even want to know what this guy has buff-wise. I'll try to protect this guy with the recon. Okay, that put them into an encirclement. So that was actually really good. Maybe we could get him to surrender. Nah, they're like, no, you're not allowed to do that good. Wait a second here. This might be better. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and reset and just not kill that command. All right, Slytherin, I'm very upset at you. You're not letting me cheese your game. It looks like if you take out the motorized division HQ, that's it. So I'm trying not to take it out. So I didn't notice that it said motorized division HQ. So you take that out and it's the end of the game. I'm wondering if I can't get back to cut now. No more VPs, but 14K prestige. If I take out the staff car, the scenario's over. If I take this out, the scenario's over. We'll cheese it and see. I'm going to save here. We'll see which one is better. So I'm at 14K prestige. September 39th. They're attacking us from Königsberg area. So we're at 14K and we're going to remember how much prestige we have. So we're not going to get into the briefing yet. We're at 14,600. And we took all that damage. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work out in our favor. 14-7. It did work out in our favor? I wonder if it changes the scenario, though. Like, the replacement cost would be worse, though. Because, like, the tanks got hit up pretty bad. Just replacing this cost 22. So I get 100 extra prestige. So it would seem that to take this right here is better than taking the armored HQ because you get the extra prestige. I think what I'm going to do, though, is just take the HQ because we're constantly getting bombarded here. And it is a few turns earlier that we finished the scenario. So it's 100 prestige, but I think we lose that when we're getting attacked from all sides. We lose experience. So I'm just going to take this guy out in the scenario. And the KD is the 75 millimeter was the best KD. And I'm pretty sure that's the one with the hero on it that could attack twice in the same turn. SPWZ looks pretty good. 7 TP mod 1939. I think that was the tank. So anyway, we did it, completely wiping the map. We just didn't get that one VP to the east. I think taking the staff car might be better for, like, maybe it'll unlock something for us. So I decided to take out the staff car and instead of getting the extra prestige, because if you go to the east, it makes you look like you're retreating out. We did not retreat out. We won for sure. So that's it. The new Panzer Corps DlC completely wiped the map. We accomplished our goal, and that's how you do it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.